10:45 right now, so what I'm going to do is just quickly go through what I've done so far this morning. So in an hour and 45 minutes, this is what I've done. I was off yesterday, so I had a check-in with the lead project manager, just to make sure that everything was okay yesterday, and if there was anything needed to flag with me that was quite major or urgent. There was nothing, which is great. So what I do in this particular contract is in the mornings, basically we manage our projects via Slack. So each project has a separate Slack channel. So each day for each project, I go into these Slack channels and I set up these daily tasks for everyone, just so that all the teams are fully aware of their tasks, what they need to do. They are aware of timelines, any urgencies. It's just making sure that nothing's forgotten, and me as a project manager is keeping on top of everything. So that's what I did. I went through all of my projects and just I could tell what happened yesterday, obviously through the trail on Slack. Nothing urgent, just set everyone's to-do list. Everyone knows what they're doing, what needs to be done for today. And I've also been given an urgent project, so a project that is going, it needs to be delivered on Monday. Today is Thursday, so it's quite urgent that I get this project set up now. So first things first, I go through the brief, check with the lead designer how many days he thinks it will take. He reckons it will take 2 days. So I now have to cost that project based on what he said, and then get that approved by the lead project manager. So that's all been approved now. I've then sent that cost to the account manager, and he'll send it to the client. But the only issue I have now is that although I've been told 2 days, it's actually going to take a bit, it might take a bit longer. And we have to go live on Monday, so it has to be delivered on Monday. The designer has flagged that this job is a bit more of an illustration job, and it's a bit more complex, and based on the references that have been shared. Now, unfortunately, I'm still trying to get access to the brief because I'm a freelancer. These are the kind of issues that you have as freelancers sometimes. So I'm still trying to get access to this brief, but the other guys can see it because they're perm, they got access to it. So annoyingly, I haven't read the brief yet, but I'm trusting the senior designer's judgment here. So I'm just sharing information back and forth to the lead PM. As I'm a freelancer, I'm not client facing in this particular freelance role, which I don't mind, to be honest. So I'm just sharing some of the vital information with the lead PM. So yeah, he's just flagged that it's a bit more complex, a bit more of an illustration job as opposed to design job, and he is asking for exported 3D models of whatever we're working on, which I can't go into too much detail on. So yeah, we're just trying to find a quicker solution, basically, that a designer can do as opposed to a illustrator, because it's already been costed. The costings have been approved internally, and we don't want to go over that particular cost by getting an illustrator, which is going to up the cost. So that's where we are right now. I am now going to set up the job. I use a system called Paprika. That's a system that I use. So I'm going to set up the costs, and then I'm going to share some of the vital details with the resource manager, who is then going to book the job in. So I've got a rush now because they actually want it to be started today. So yeah, let me crack on. Thanks guys, speak to you in a bit. So I finally have access to the brief. I am just working out some costings. I have to work out 22% of a cost, and I don't know about you, but working out 22% is maths is not my strength. Anyway, done that now. Save that. Every company has a different way of resourcing. So the way we resource here at this particular role, I have to give the resource manager and the resource team task numbers, and they work it out on the system. And then the designers have their set way of knowing what job they're working on a particular day. But I'm for now just going to do my task of getting those task numbers to the resource team, and then that's like a really key part, because if I don't do that part, then they can't officially get the project booked in. So I'm doing that now because we are hoping that the designer can start today. So this is one that has been, this sometimes happens with projects. Sometimes if there's like a high volume of projects, it's usually quite normal for, well, I say normal, it's not ideal, but it can happen when projects can slip through the net. But there are ways of, avoiding that happening, but sometimes, it does happen. We're only human, right? So, let me just do that. Okay, so now I've got the task details that I need. What I'm going to do is use Slack, because how I communicate with the resource team is via Slack. So I'm going to use Slack now, give them the particular job, the project title, the project job number, list out all the tasks that I need. So I need a senior designer, I need a design director, and I need a associate creative director. So the designer is going to be doing the work, but I need a design director also just to look over it and sign it off before it goes to the client. And I also need the associate creative director who must see the final work before it leaves the building. So before it goes to the client, the associate creative director must also see it as well. So these are like really important steps that must be taken for any of my projects. So I have to cost for their time as well and make sure that they are booked in so they know what they're doing. So I'm going to do that now. So that's done. I've sent those task details. So what I'm going to do now quickly is set up the Slack channel for this new project that is actually probably going to be started today. So I'm going to do that now and go through the Slack channel, make sure I've got everything I need in the Slack channel, the brief, the job number, and everyone that's part of that project will need to be in that Slack channel as well. So I'm going to do that right now. And I've also got 2 more projects that I've just been given, so I have to go through that similar process and get those projects set up. So the projects that I'm on, that I've got quite a lot, but they've all got different statuses, and not all of them are being worked on right now. Some are for the new year, some are for to be started on Monday, and a couple of them are being worked on as we speak. Some I've delivered today, so they all have different statuses. But these ones are the ones where I have to action things right now. So I'm going to set up the Slack channel. Then I'm going to move on to my next 2 projects and go through those briefs. As a matter of fact, let me just request access to them before. Yes, I've got access to those ones, so that's good. So I can have a read through the brief. But yes, I'll do the Slack channels right now. It's not difficult to manage projects whilst working remotely. I actually prefer it because I don't have to faff around or waste time having conversations that don't need to be had. It's just you just get on with the task. There's no distractions. I can just crack on with everything. Everybody's available on Slack. I just prefer it. I mean, I can do everything from right here. I don't have to. I think it also depends on your personality. If you're someone who's quite, you're extroverted, you like to, chit chat and mingle, then I think working from an office is perfect. But if you're a bit more like me and you just got other stuff going on, and I guess I'm a bit more introverted personally, and I know I can get it done even better from home, I would say personally. And I think tools such as Slack, I've said this in my last day in the life, tools such as Slack really help because it's like instant messenger. People get back to you pretty quickly, obviously if they're not busy. And you can just get everything done. Obviously, if I'm in an office, I'm having to walk over to you when you're doing something, and I just like this way of working. It's just my preference. Okay, so I'll put you guys a bit closer to me so a bit closer. So that's done. I've set up the Slack channel now. I've got the timings for the designer. I've got 2 days, half day today, full day tomorrow, and half a day on Monday. So what I'm going to do now is quickly, it's a good time, so yeah, you could probably start this afternoon. So what I'm going to do now is pop a kickoff call in the diary. So at some point today, we can have a quick call, get everyone in the room, go through the brief in detail. The designer can ask all the questions that he has, and we can just get together and work out the project and the details, what needs to be done, any flags, anything that needs to go back to the client, anything that we can't do, and so forth. But we will aim to get it done, obviously. So yes, I'm going to go and find time. I always find it difficult to get time in the diary with everyone. Everyone's diaries are always booked, especially the creative directors. Like, they are always slammed. So, but I don't need to invite a creative director to this one. They're more there for sign-off purposes. So I'm going to make sure the account manager is in this call, the lead PM, who oversees all of these projects for this particular game brand. And the designer, and I think that's all I need to invite. Yeah, that's it for this particular one. And that's perfect. 12:30 looking good. 12:30 is looking good. Yes, 12:30, everybody is free, so we can do that. Goody, goody, goody. So I'm going to add that to the diary. Kickoff will be in an hour and 15 minutes. And yeah, then the designer will be all clear on what needs to be done and so forth. And then we can just get started. And in the meantime, whilst that's sizzling in the background, I am going to get the other two projects set up. The first thing I need to do, which is what I've just done, is send the project brief over to the senior designer just to let me know how many days he thinks it will take. So I've got an accurate amount of days to go by, so I can cost up the project based on the number of days a designer is going to be working on it for. And then when I get it booked in, then I know the number of days it's going to take. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm just waiting for him to get back to me. And as a matter of fact, I've sent him one, so I might as well send him the other one as well. Kill two birds with one stone, as they like to say. So yeah, just a little bit about this contract. It's for a gaming creative agency, and I've been here since September. It's now December, and I am penciled for January too, which is a good thing. I'm very thankful for that, because oftentimes January can be a really quiet month, really quiet. Last year I was off January till March. I didn't get my contract until the end of March, mid-March I think it was. So it was needed because I worked the whole year non-stop. But it's nice to be able to, it's nice to start your year having a break, and you can just, get yourself organised for the rest of the year, work on, other projects that you've got on, your own personal projects, which is what I love to do. But I can't complain about being booked in Jan, so I'm very thankful for that. So the designer is looking at the briefs now. He just confirmed he'll let me know that he's looking now. It's very collaborative, this aspect of things. It's, a lot of liaising with different teams and, working together. And I can't do what I do without, I need them. I need them to tell me how long it will take. So it's really collaborative, and, it's nice you can do it from the comfort of your home as well. This whole remote working for me has been a real blessing. So I do have another task to do. So while I wait for him, I'm going to complete another task, and I'm going to go into one of the gaming brands' budget sheets, and I'm going to update one of the costs. I'm going to do that now, get that done, and that's another thing ticked off my to-do list. And I'm sorry, I'm talking like I've got a cold. I have got a bit of a cold. But yeah, feeling better today anyway. So yes, I'm going to do that, and I shall be back. That will literally take me, if I can, that will take me like 2 minutes. I also need to get all of these projects, the status of these projects set to live. So when I book a new project in Paprika, I have to speak to the finance guy, just to change the status of the projects from speculative to live. So I also need to do that. So I'm going to do that whilst I wait. And obviously my kickoff isn't until just under an hour. So I've got time right now. So let's do that. You did so good. I'm really proud of you, darling. Where's the rubber then? Okay, so that meeting's done. Finished that about half an hour ago, getting the job set up for the new projects, and those costs are now. The designer had quite a few questions actually, so I have gone back and forth to the account manager, who knows much more about the project as he is the client facing one, and they're perms, they've been here much longer. They've got a history of working on these projects for previous years, so and previous seasons. So that's back and forth with the designer and the account manager on the questions. Just questions about the design and previous assets and different types of assets that need to be used. So those questions have been answered. So now those costs are with the lead PM to be approved. It is now lunchtime. Then I'm going to come back. I've got a meeting at 2:30, a resource meeting. So I hope that these costs get the thumbs up, or they can let me know what they want, what needs to be adjusted. And then I can get those tasks numbers sent over to the resource team ahead of the meeting. So that is done. So yeah, I am going to go, and I'll see you back here in a bit. Bye. So that was quite a long call. That was my resource call. All the PMs were in the call, and the account manager and account director of the particular gaming brand. And we just went through the projects that we were on that needed to be resourced, and yeah, discussed a few projects that can't be resourced at the moment because there's not a lot of information. So that was about just under 45 minutes. And I have just put a deck together with some of the illustrations. So there's another project that I'm working on, and the illustrations are going to the client tomorrow. Well, today, they're done now, so they can go now. So I just popped them all into one deck. It's basically like a PowerPoint presentation, and that's done. I've just sent that over to the account director for her to have a look at, to let me know she's happy with that. And I'm closing that now. And then what else have I done so far? I have had to get a motion graphic resource for that same project because it's an illustration, but they're going to loop it together into a little video for TikTok, so that the illustrations can go onto Instagram. So they've got some kind of video format for TikTok, and I have to do something else. I am a couple of projects kicking off on Monday, but because there's discussions about them already, I'm just making sure that everyone is added to the Slack channel for that, because at the moment it's just a set up Slack channel with nobody in there. So I'm just going to get everyone in there right now, so that if there's any updates, like updates to the brief, then the account manager can just pop the information into the Slack channel rather than just communicating it anywhere or just on a call without having it written. And so that's what I'm going to do now. Then I've been given a task to help out the project lead with, he's planning all the projects for next year as well. So just getting really underway with those types of projects, with the projects that are happening next year, like the ones that are reoccurring, so we know they're definitely going ahead. And I am going to set up some job numbers for him. So that's that's like a bit of an admin-y task, but I'm gonna help him in that. And I feel like there's something else. Yes, I've got a kick-off to pop in the diary for tomorrow as well. Jan info, get me in the diary. Jan info. Yeah, there's probably more stuff, but we'll take it each. I've still got a couple of hours before I finish off anyway, so I'm going to do that for now, and then I will check back in with you shortly to tell you what I've done and what else I've got to do.
Why are kissing my eye?
I think kiss your eye. So this afternoon has been. Oh, hope you can hear me okay. Yeah. So this afternoon has been. It's been quite busy actually. My days really vary here. Sometimes I'm like really busy, other times I'm not so busy at all. But this afternoon has been quite busy because the lead PM asked me to do a little task, just preparing these projects. I think I mentioned it already, preparing some of the project job numbers for next year. A lot of well, in this particular company, there's a lot of projects that are reoccurring each month. So where you can plan ahead with those, which is what we were doing. So I was just getting those job numbers all prepared for like, how many, 12, 3 times 12, 2, 4, 6, 36, yeah, 36 projects basically. So that's done. Now it's 5:30. I've been doing lots of little bits today. It's felt like, because there's quite a lot of projects that I'm working on, I could count, but there's just so many. But they're all in different statuses, so it's not so bad at all. And what I am going to do now, so it's 5:30, I finish at 5. I have just had something to eat, so I am going to get my task list done for tomorrow, so that when tomorrow comes, when 9 o'clock hits, boom, all the task lists are scheduled and everyone knows what they're doing 9 o'clock on the dot. So where I'm at the moment, you can start between 9 and 10, but as a project manager, it's just best to get your task list done, and I can start then at 9:30 because I don't have to worry about the team not knowing what they're doing, you know? So yeah, I schedule those task lists for everyone now, so I'll do that now for tomorrow morning. And then yeah, I'll start tomorrow. I plan to start about 9:45. My son's got a special worship session at his school, and they also collect lots of certificates. He's collecting his swim certificate, so I'm going to go there tomorrow. So yes, so I'm going to get that done now for my projects, and then I'm gonna finish. So I hopefully should be done with that. I do have another thing to do, but I might leave it until tomorrow. I mean, it's not a big deal, is it? So yeah, I'm gonna do that quickly, and then that's gonna be it, and I'll be finished in hopefully like 10 minutes. So yes, I hope you enjoyed today's day in the life. It's a bit more in depth than the last one. It's also a different contract that I have, so it's a different way of working, different process, different things I need to do, but essentially it's all the same. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, please like, please subscribe, and yeah, give me a thumbs up. Ask me any questions. I will aim to get back to you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.